Kendall, you look ridiculous. Cat ears can stay. You can't even see my ears. Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Kendall, and here we talk about all things makeup related, and sometimes we talk about other stuff. Today, okay, so I feel like I need to preface this by explaining myself. I saw this launch and I was like, who wants this? Who asked for this? Nobody wants this. And then I proceeded to buy it because that's how I feel like everything works for me. It was one of those things where I saw it and I was like, that's stupid. And now here I am reviewing it for you guys. So Urban Decay recently launched 4 mini palettes, and they are called the Decades palette. They have the 70s Boogie palette, the 80s Pop Queen, the 2000s Soundtrack, and the one that got me, the 1993 palette. I only bought this, and this, like, I understand saying it out loud how much of a sucker this makes me, because God knows I did not need another eyeshadow palette. Like, I don't need another eyeshadow palette unless I'm like head over heels in love with it. I only bought this because 1993 is the year I was born. I thought it was like a cute thing, like, that's my year, like, you know? So these palettes retail for $25 a piece. When I bought them, they were doing a promotional deal where you could get 2 for $40. So I did pick up 2. I also picked up the 2000s palette, but we're not talking about that one today. So these are $25 a piece without getting them on sale. So imagine my freaking surprise when I opened the box and this is how big it was. This is an eyeshadow palette for ants. Size comparison. Here's my hand, and I have a small hand. $25 for this. This is tiny, but also that's the year I was born. So lace up your combat boots and grab your favorite flannel, because Urban Decay 1993 Decades Mini Eyeshadow Palette features high pigment eyeshadow shades with a unique tribute to the 90s grunge rock. Create an eye makeup look with this travel size palette that channels the era's angst with a sky blue shimmer, dark olive green shimmer, and moody brick red matte. Now, aside from just buying this because this was the 1993 palette, this color story was the one that I liked the most. I felt like this one was the most wearable. There was another one, I believe it was the 70s palette. It's a gorgeous color story, but I believe that there is like a chunky glitter shade in there, and I'm very iffy about putting like actual glitter near my eyeballs because I do have very sensitive eyes. Do I want to show this picture? Yeah, I'll go ahead. I have nothing to hide. I have very sensitive eyeballs, as I found out this year. I started wearing false eyelashes, and then I don't know what happened. One day I was wearing them and my eyeballs swelled up like literally to the size of saucers, and it just kept happening, and this is what they look like. So we cut it with the falsies. No more false eyelashes for me. So I'm very weary about what goes in or around my eyeballs now. So we're staying away from the pressed glitters and all that stuff. So I really like this story right here, and these swatch beautifully. I wasn't really expecting much with these. Urban Decay is very hit or miss. Their like traditional naked eyeshadow palettes are pretty good. They're not my favorite formula. I think Urban Decay was once like the almighty, like high up there makeup brand, and they've definitely taken a hit and fallen, especially with all the new makeup and the new brands that are taking over the market that are quite honestly a better quality at a lower price. But I was so pleased with the swatches of these, and I will go ahead and insert that right here. So as you can see, the shades are gorgeous. This green shade right here is what really draws me in, and this is the shade that we are primarily working with today. I did not use a whole lot of shades with this look that I came up with because I was so in love with the green. I really wanted to focus on that. I did not use the blue or the pink. mainly because I couldn't really find a way to incorporate it with this green color. So if you want to see what I did today, how I got the look that I did, and if you want my final review on this, then please stick around and let's go ahead and jump into the look. Okay, so I went ahead and taped up my eyes, and I'm taking a small flat brush going into the shade Grunge, and I am going to be doing a halo eye today. So I'm just putting that color on the outer and inner corner of my eyelids and really packing that on as much as I can. And I'm really extending the inner corner with that. And then I'm taking a fluffier brush with that same color Grunge. And since I didn't want to use another shade in the palette as my transition shade, I just used a lighter hand with that same color to make that my transition and buff that color out. Now I'm going to cut the crease, but I'm just going to be taking that concealer right down the center of my eye because, like I said, we are doing a halo eye here. And then I'm going to pat it out with my finger just so it kind of melts into my skin. Then taking my finger, I'm going into the shade Beep Me, and I am putting that right over the concealer that we just put down. And then with a smaller brush, I'm going into the shade Collect Call. And I'm so sorry, this is so out of focus right here. And I'm buffing that in between the green and the white sparkle shade to kind of marry the two together. And then taking some more of the shade Beat Me because I lost a little bit of that color. And then going back into the shade Grunge, and I'm just building up all the color that I lost when I was blending. And then I'm just blending everything out. Alright, for the lower lash line, I'm taking the shade Grunge again. Literally just using the shade Grunge for this look. And I'm just really putting that in the lower lash line, and then taking the shade Collect Call on a fluffier brush and buffing it out. So I do really love the overall feel and like aesthetic of this palette. It's super grungy, super 90s, even though I was born in 93. So when I personally think of my experience in the 90s, I think of like Sky Dancers, Light Brights, Girl Scouts, Etch-a-Sketch. Like I wasn't around for like the flannel and like the moody, angsty, like 90s vibe because I was a child. Shout out to all my other 90s babies out there. So before I get into my final thoughts, I would like to share with you guys what lip product I have on right now. This is an Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Story, and this is actually their collaboration they did with Samantha March. And this honestly might be one of my favorite shades of all time. It's so pretty. I love it. Just wanted to throw that out there because I really like it. Okay, so my thoughts on this palette. I actually really like it. The colors blended really nicely. That green is stunning. The only complaint that I have with this is that this is not worth $25. I would say if you could get this for $15, I think that is like a sweet spot when it comes to the price point. $25 is way too much for what you're getting. This is not a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, even though her 6 pans are still like $90. I don't know what Urban Decay is thinking pricing these at $25. Do not spend $25 on this. If you have Ulta points that you can use, or if Ulta has their 25% off coupons or 20% off coupons, I do think this palette is worth picking up if you can get it on sale. And let me tell you something, these are all gonna go on sale after Christmas. I can almost guarantee you, I am the only person that bought this. I can almost guarantee you I'm the only person that was a sucker enough to buy this palette. I did a quick search of like the 1993 palette to see if like anyone else had reviewed it, and there's like 4 or 5 other people. So those people are all suckers with me. No, I do think this is a nice palette. The formula's great. They blended great. I did play with this a little bit off camera just to kind of like test out the other colors before I filmed this look. And I do like them. I think they are a great addition to have, but again, do not spend $25 on this. Wait, because they will go on sale, or use a coupon, because that's like almost $5 a shade. Almost. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I don't own this palette, but I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. Urban Decay has an On the Run midi eyeshadow palette, and those have 8 shades for $25, and these have 2 less shades at the same price point. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but something to note. All right, guys, so final thoughts. I think this is a nice palette. I think if you get it, you're not gonna regret it, but it's just not worth $25. They're nice shadows, but like, there's nothing extraordinary about them. If it goes on sale, absolutely. If not, you're not missing out on anything. All right, so that is it. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.